This is really bad lighting. It's raining now in San Diego. Can you believe it? What the heck? Okay, so I was going to be doing 'Tis the Seasonathon this week. And I decided not to do that because life's been kind of crazy the last few days. I was traveling to see family, and so I was out of town the first 2 days of the readathon, and then coming back, I'm just not really feeling like a full-blown readathon. I had some pretty heavy reads in my TBR, and yeah, I'm just not feeling it. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna do the Magical Readathon because it looks a lot easier and I'm lazy. No, I'm really excited about it actually because I really like the premise, and the whole setup that they have for it is just really cool and unique, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I like that it's more drawn out and a little bit more like at your own pace type of a thing, which I feel like is what I need right now. It's what I need right now. So how it's going to work is every Sunday in December, they're going to unlock a new chapter, and it's sort of like a choose your own adventure type of a thing. You go through the chapter and you make choices through it, and based on your choices, you are given prompts, and then you read based on those prompts. Yay. Um, but it's based on the second year of Hogwarts, so Chamber of Secrets, and the goal is to save Ginny, obviously. That's the goal. So, I open the first chapter, and it opens with you encounter Dobby. He's coming, and he's having his whole freak out of you can't go to Hogwarts, all this stuff. And your first choice was you chose either to lie to Dobby and say, okay, I won't go to Hogwarts, calm down, go away. Or tell him, no, I'm going to go to Hogwarts and deal with the consequences. I'm going to be going through this as if it was me, personally. And me, personally, I would have lied and told him, okay, whatever you want to hear, just be quiet. If a crazed, strange creature that I did not know, I did not recognize, suddenly showed up in my bedroom and was having like a total meltdown, I would just do whatever I thought was necessary to make him calm down and go away. Because that's how I roll. Anyway, so that's the choice that I made, and based on that, the chapter continued with, how did it go? Dobby left. He did leave behind, he gave me all the letters from like Ron and everybody that he had confiscated earlier in the summer. So I then had the letters, but Hedwig, the Dursleys still had Hedwig locked up, so I couldn't send any letters. And I also, so the Weasleys never ended up coming. Based on that choice, the Weasleys didn't end up coming to rescue me. I end up talking the Dursleys into taking me to Diagon Alley so I can get my stuff. And so that's where, so the chapter goes, you're in Diagon Alley, and then do you choose to go to, I think it was a Quidditch supply store or Flourish and Blotts. And I chose Flourish and Blotts because obviously not a sports person. Anyway, so that was what I did, and that led me to my first reading prompt, which was read the last book you acquired, whether it be bought, borrowed, or inherited. And the last book I bought, I actually just got a book while I was on vacation. We went to A Room of One's Own was the name of the bookstore, and it was just this little independent, it actually wasn't little, it had an itty bitty little storefront, and then when you got inside, it just kept going back and back and back. This was in Madison, downtown Madison, Wisconsin, was where the bookstore was at. Went there, and I actually bought a few books there, but I decided to go chose this one to read for the prompt. This is Cavall in Camelot, which is a book that I had never heard of before. It's a middle grade book about a dog, Cavall, who ends up in Camelot with King Arthur, and it's just going to be his adventure in Camelot, which I think just sounds like a fun, cozy read, very fitting for the sudden rainfall that San Diego wanted to have. So yeah, this is going to be my read for that prompt. I don't know if there's going to be more prompts after it, or if this is the only read for the chapter. We'll find out after I finish this book. I'm not working today, which is nice. I have this is my last day of my Thanksgiving vacation. So yeah, I think I'm just going to be reading all day. All I have to do, I do have to go pick up my cat. I have to go pick up Jack from a friend who watched him while I was gone. Is that all I have to do today? Oh, I have to fix my nails. These are not navy regulation color, so I have to change my nail color. But other than that, that's it. So I guess I'll just read all day, which will be nice. I'll let you know what I think about it. All right, got my cat back. Fixed my nails. And read this much of Cavall, which is like nothing at all for a middle grade, but that's okay. It's really good so far. I'm really liking it. It's exactly what I want to be reading right now. Just something sweet and simple and not overly complicated. Yeah, it's good. It's good, isn't it, buddy? The sun's bright. Okay, so apparently I managed to be the only person living in San Diego who's developed a vitamin D deficiency. I didn't understand how that could happen, but then I thought about it, and I'm really not an outside person. I'm not a fan of the sun, really, so I just kind of go to work and come home, and that's about the majority of my time outside is walking to and from work. So yeah, I thought I'd come up to this nice little rooftop area in my apartment and read a little bit out in the sun. Yay! Ugh. My hair is in a mood today. It's just looking for attention. Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Okay, so it's not a good look. Behave. Okay, so this is my second take filming this. It's now the next day because when I went back to edit my first clip, there were issues. So, take two. I finished reading Cavall. It was so good, you guys. I can't believe I'd never heard of it before. This was such a good book. So quick wrap up. This is about Cavall, the dog, and he gets adopted by King Arthur. At the same time, his brother also gets taken in by Mordred, who in this retelling is King Arthur's adopted son. They both go to the castle, and basically it's about Cavall learning the rules of the castle and the hierarchy of the already established pack of all the dogs at the castle. And he's just so sweet. He just wants to be a good dog and just do right by his person, and he's a good dog. He just wants to be a good dog. So that was very, very sweet. I loved him. So we're going through the story, and it comes to light that King Arthur is in danger, and all Cavall is concerned with is protecting his person and doing whatever he has to do to protect his person. And that's the basic story. And I was very pleased with it. Like I said earlier, I really just wanted a nice, simple read. Didn't want anything too strenuous, and that's exactly what this book was. It was exactly what I needed at that time. It had a surprisingly unique Fae system, which I have not read anything like this before in regards to the Fae system. So really like that. It also had a surprisingly intense build up to the climax, which was great, and I loved it. I conversely wish it had been drawn out just a little bit more. It's one of those books where you hit the climax and then all problems are solved in like 3 pages. And you're just like, oh, okay, it's all fixed. So yeah, that was my one main issue with the book. Other than that, it had kind of a slow start, but yeah, really good book. 4 stars. Very pleased. Moving right along with the Magical Readathon. So I finished the book. I got back on the Magical Readathon website and clicked the little completed button. And then it basically moved forward into the next scene, which is I have gotten all my books, and now I'm going to go pay for the books. And as I'm going up to the register, I see Gilderoy Lockhart and his whole throng of admirers, we'll call them that. So I see Gilderoy Lockhart. I also see Malfoy sneaking up the stairs. So my prompts then are, 1, do I choose to go pay for my books so I can finish with that task and get on about my day? Or 2, join the line to get Gilderoy Lockhart's autograph? Or 3, follow Malfoy because he's up to something. I chose 1 because that's what I would do. This is my task. Get the task done, go on about my day. I've never really been one for wanting to get autographs. I've done it a couple times, but I always feel really awkward and I never know what to say. So yeah, I wouldn't do that. Also not really, I wouldn't follow Malfoy. Like, who cares? I have a very low caring of what people outside of my immediate circle are up to. So yeah, I went to go pay for my books. That was the prompt I chose. And then the next scene is take all my books to this really cute little reading nook. And I get all settled in and I'm just reading my books and having a good old time doing that. And that was when the chapter ended. That was the end of chapter 1. So I ended up with just the 1 reading prompt for that chapter, which was Cavall. Yeah, so that's the end of chapter 1. Chapter 2 is opening up tomorrow. So I will catch up with you guys then, and we'll find out what the next book I'm reading for that is.